Come in, students, come in. Welcome to this first class of, let me get this done real quick. Driver's Ed, but I'm going to add another D, because I think it's funny. Today, we are going to talk about intersection etiquette. I think that's how you spell etiquette. Don't judge me. On this first class, I'm just going to talk about some do's and don'ts of intersections. Now, the first question probably is, what is an intersection? Now, the best way to explain this is when you have a road that connects to another road, or as the term follows, intersects, then you have an intersection. Now, when it comes to traversing these hazardous things, it is important to take a couple of things into account while you're looking at doing this. So, if you have this intersection, 2 lanes going in, 2 lanes going out. Wait, no, that's... Okay, this one is actually a 1 lane down here. And over here you have a turn lane and then a forward lane. Now, you have some lanes going this way. So, when you are here, and you want to turn this way, you are given 2 options to the best of my knowledge. You can either go into this lane or this lane. In this circumstance, when you have like 2 turning lanes, it becomes a little bit more muddled. So in the process of making this turn here, if you are right here, looking to turn in to go this way, then normally you will want to take note of the stoplights that are at this intersection. Now, usually in this spot, like the turn-er, that doesn't work. When you are looking at making a left turn when you're trying to turn from here, you want to wait for a green arrow so that you don't have any other traffic coming your direction. Key thing in intersection 101, make sure you do not have oncoming traffic. Now, what I mean by oncoming traffic is, of course, when you see a car coming directly towards you at relatively concerning speeds. So, as we were talking, while this is green, you go. And while this is green, over here on this side, this little fella should have either a red arrow, let me do this, well, a red light, or, in some cases, an orange blinking arrow. Blink. Now, in these cases, of course, red means stop, you don't go. But in the case of orange, you want to make sure there is no oncoming traffic, and then you're welcome to traverse the intersection. When someone is turning for a green arrow, you do not turn from here, in case they are going to take one of these 2 lanes. Because if you do, this guy over here is then forced to make emergency, maneuvers to avoid, a collision with this other guy over here, if he was going into this lane, into the far right. So there is some stuff I don't know if there's much to unpack here, but that is partially a deep dive into intersection etiquette. That is a small portion that probably would not get discussed often. But generally, if you're at an intersection, the best stance to take is to wait your turn. And the way that you discover what turn someone, whose turn it is, usually is either, it is given by stoplights. Those are pretty clean and cut as to who goes where. Or, if it is a stop sign, that's a terrible stop sign, but just roll with it. If there's a stop sign, the general consensus is whoever arrives to a stop first. If you're at this intersection over here and you have 2 cars going these directions, and this one stops first, then to all intents and purposes, they get to go first. And then this buddy will go when they are across. And if you have people going opposite directions and they're not going to be in each other's way and they get there and it's if they're both going different directions and they intend to stay that way, then they can cross simultaneously if they so choose to, or wait and take turns, as is the norm. Yeah, any incident in an intersection that does not involve a traffic light can typically be broken down into whoever was there first goes first, then second, then third, whoever, all of that. But if there is this right-of-way rule that I don't know if they teach that anymore, that basically says if you come to a stop and you stop at the same time and there is a person on your right, then they are first to go. They have the right of way. And that's the way I understand it. I could be wrong on that front. But the reason I'm going through all this is because I had a couple incidents today where you have the road you're on, and then there's an offshoot that is coming up, and the people on the offshoot, let me also make clear, no signs are involved in this intersection. And when that is the case, if there is a main road, you wait for the main road to cross. Make sure you're not going to get pegged by someone as you try to traverse said intersection. So, yeah, all that to say, intersections can be complicated and all this other jazz. But if you practice a few safety, like, oh, this is terrible. Practice some, I don't know if habits is the right word. General practices, let me say that, some general practices. Then you should be pretty good dealing with intersections, and you won't have incidents like today where I almost took out two people who didn't want to wait their turn. Well, that's about all the time I have today. Thank you all for your attention, and I hope the rest of your day proves to be enjoyable. Class dismissed.